Just imagine. After so many fights, so many universal threats, Goku and Vegeta finally reach such an absurd level of power that not even the gods themselves can ignore it. Things were already getting out of hand. Goku has mastered Ultra Instinct, able to activate and maintain the form with complete control. No more of that improvised half UI. Vegeta, now with full command of Destruction Instinct, is no longer the warrior who explodes everything in rage. He's learned to sense the balance of chaos. He's like a Zen-like god of destruction, but with that unfriendly look in his eye, of course. And it's in this scenario that Whis begins to question himself. He's there, observing the two closely. As a mentor and guide, he sees something he's never seen before in mortals. Then a subtle dialogue ensues between him and Beerus with a very comical vibe like, "Have you noticed that these two idiots are starting to get stronger than us?" And Beerus responds with a yawn, "Yes, I noticed. And honestly, finally, I'm tired of this job." Sure, it sounds like a joke, but it was a cue. Whis goes straight to the Daishinkan, and the mood already changes. The Father of Angels listens to everything with that calm, almost empty air. And after a long silence, he says, "It's time for the cycle to change." The Daishinkan then reveals that the roles of God of Destruction and Angel are not eternal. There is a natural cosmic rotation, and Beerus himself was already exceeding the limits of his function. The universe needs new energy. Goku and Vegeta are not just warriors, they are forces of balance. One is pure and light instinct, the other is destructive and conscious. That's where Zeno comes in. He appears all excited with that childish look. "Goku! You want to be God with me?" And Goku is like, "What? What do you mean?" Already scratching his head, suspicious. Vegeta, of course, gets pissed. "Is this some kind of joke? I don't want to serve anyone." But the Daishinkan intervenes with a deeper explanation. He says that contrary to what they imagine, being a god isn't about serving, it's about maintaining the flow of existence. Goku would have the chance to experience the universe from a new perspective, and Vegeta would have the power to destroy and rebuild, not out of anger, but out of wisdom. After Zeno drops the bombshell that he wants Goku and Vegeta as Whis and Beerus' new replacements, the entire universe begins to tremble. Literally. Because this decision, even coming from the top of the cosmic hierarchy, wasn't going to go unnoticed by anyone. First, Beerus freaks out, but in that lazy way of his, he's lounging on top of a floating rock and blurts out, "What do you mean, replacement? I haven't even taken a vacation yet." Whis, on the other hand, smiles in that calm way that hides everything. "It's an honor to be replaced by a mortal I trained myself, but I'll miss my earthly sweets." Meanwhile, in the other universes, the gods of destruction begin to debate among themselves. Universe 1's god of destruction is all formality. This is an affront to the traditions of the gods. Mortals shouldn't carry such titles. But then, Hells from Universe 2 giggles and says, "Oh, but Goku is so cute, he actually looks good as a deity." Amidst this diplomatic chaos, Goku and Vegeta are taken by Whis and Beerus for one last training session. But this one, unlike anything else, no longer involves punches, kicks, or kai. It's a training of essence. They enter a mirror dimension created by Daishinkan, where each faces a distorted version of themselves. Goku faces God Goku, a cold, rational, and emotionless version of himself, the danger of losing his humanity. Vegeta, meanwhile, faces Destiny Vegeta, a shadow of pride who wants to destroy everything for fear of becoming weak. The Daishinkan watches from afar and comments to Whis, "This isn't a test of strength, it's a test of the soul." Goku, in his internal struggle, realizes that he doesn't need to give up his nature to become something greater. He just needs to integrate, keeping your heart light even as a pillar of the universe. Vegeta, after much reluctance, understands that destruction isn't the end. It's a cycle, and that he can do it wisely. And for the first time, he smiles. A little, but a smile. Whis even says, "Mark it on the calendar, he smiled." After training, the two awaken in new temporary forms. Goku acquires a hybrid look between Ultra Instinct and Angelic Ki. Silver hair with shimmering blue hues, serene eyes. Vegeta, now in his own divine form, displays a flaming purple aura with golden streaks, as if the universe itself were folding around him. Zeno and Daishinkan then reappear. The scene changes. We are now in Zeno's palace, where the succession ceremony is about to begin. And then comes the moment of choice, to accept or not. Vegeta hesitates. He stares at Bulma and Trunks, brought in especially for this moment, and Bulma says, "If you become a god and don't visit Trunks every month, you'll see." Goku, in his innocence, asks, But I can still train with Whis, right? Whis laughs. Beerus rolls his eyes. Daishinkan just watches. The answer? Goku and Vegeta say yes. But on one condition. They want to choose their successors as defenders of Earth, with Goku and Vegeta officially accepting to become the new angel and god of destruction of Universe 7, the ceremony begins. And look, Zeno didn't hold back. The cosmic sky opens. Pillars of pure energy appear. The music sounds as if 1,000 stars are singing in unison. It's something that only happens when a mortal rises to the level of God. Whis formally hands the staff to Goku, but of course Goku holds it the wrong way and asks, "Is it edible?" The Daishinkan gives that little smile. Vegeta, in turn, is led to a flaming altar where Beerus lies like a tired cat throwing a pillow over his head. Here, it's your job, but don't get bored. Their power begins to merge with the laws of the universe. Goku connects with the life energy of the cosmos. He begins to hear the galaxies as if they were thoughts. Vegeta, meanwhile, feels the flow of time, destruction, and creation, and his Kai begins to vibrate with the very core of space-time. But here comes the coolest part. Goku and Vegeta don't want to simply disappear and become unreachable entities. They want to keep their feet on the ground, so, as they promised, they'll choose new defenders for Earth. Goku looks at Oob, who's already big, strong, disciplined, a true prodigy. He sees in him the same spark Master Roshi saw in him when he was little, and he says, "This boy will protect the future." Vegeta, meanwhile, looks at Trunks with that hidden pride. But instead of saying it directly, he calls Goten and says, "Trunks needs balance." Goten is the answer. The two young men are taken to the Kaioshin planet, where they will begin training with the former Whis, now retired and happily eating cakes all day, and with Beerus, who, even though he's no longer a god, remains bitter and grumpy, only now as a master. Meanwhile, Goku begins observing the universe from a special vantage point, a dimension where he can see all realities at once. He observes and watches over lives, but still jumps back to play. Goku can't sit still, so he creates small energy portals where he trains with alternate versions of himself from other universes. Vegeta, on the other hand, immerses himself in responsibility. He visits planets, analyzes corrupt civilizations, and when necessary, erases entire systems. But not with fury, with judgment. He now understands that destruction can also be an act of compassion. The other gods begin to feel the impact. The divine structure shakes. The god of destruction of Universe 4 begins to complain that mortals are dominating too much. But the Daishinkan responds, "Perhaps it is time for all universes to learn from Universe 7. The threat no longer comes from without. Now, the cosmic balance is shifting from within. And quietly, something begins to move in the shadows of the multiverse. Everything seemed to finally be falling into place. Goku, a new angel, playing at training between universes and monitoring cosmic harmony with that innocent smile. Vegeta, for his part, was already a legend among the most dangerous planets, not for cruelty, but for justice. His name became law. But as always in Dragon Ball, too much peace is a harbinger of storms. Come on, comment a lot for the sequel.